Welcome to the I-80 Club and a special Saturday morning coffee show as Jack Mitchell just had something gross and it doesn't look like he's a fan. Josh Peterson, Jack Mitchell, and we have Jeff Sheldon and Lincoln Arneal from Volleyball State. Hello, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow. What a night yesterday was, huh?
Hey, yeah.
It was a crazy day from Lincoln and I trying to get remote broadcasts set up to a rainstorm that I don't think anyone was really expecting coming over Lincoln, and then just the scenes at the match last night. It feels like I lived 3 days yesterday.
I would add in to that assessment a couple of other things. The Emily Eman peddling Volleyball State gear on Fox Network television.
Amazing.
Which, by the way, I still don't think we have one order based on that. I mean, that's millions of dollars of advertising value, and we got nothing and nothing from it. So that's
It's a slow burn with the Libero merch. It'll come. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, and then she retweeted it too.
With a link
with a picture of my kitchen table.
We have an affiliate deal set up with Emily. Feels like her people are going to call us about that.
Just give her free merch.
And here was the best point. This was a behind the scenes thing. So I'm doing two jobs, kind of, mainly one job there, mainly one working for the radio station. But I'm kind of a co-MC of what's going on at the rail yard. I'll be back out there today. And they've got, DJs and contests and I'm doing some live interviews. I did one with the Creighton head coach yesterday. And I even wore blue for it. Sorry.
Look at you.
I didn't want to wear. I thought that would be really tacky to wear Husker gear. I'm a neutral journalist.
Jasters suck.
Many have said Jack is one of my favorite neutral sports journalists in the tri-state area, and
that's really on display every time Nebraska football is.
Yes, thank you. I agree. And then I interviewed one of the Penn State assistant coaches, and the interview was supposed to start at 5, and he was already down there. I didn't want to go back to his hotel, so he's hanging out in the room where Jeff and Lincoln are doing their podcast and listening to it. Yeah. And I don't know if Jeff and Lincoln know who he is.
Oh, I knew he was. Yeah.
Did you? I didn't know for sure if you did. I assumed you probably did, but I didn't want you guys to be like, man, does Penn State suck ass this year? And have him be sitting right there. And so I go talk to him then, and then we bring him out a little early because the rain's coming. And I was like, I'll get you finished before the rain because you can get back to your hotel. We stand at a hotel a couple of blocks away or a few blocks away. I was over at the Cornhusker, so it was quite a ways away. And I was like, dude, I'll get you done with plenty of time for the. He was like, no, he's like, whatever, I'm not in a hurry. And so I get the interview done, again, trying to get him done before it rains. And he goes, and I was like, I think he's leaving. And he goes back in that room. And I was like, we're done, man. You're good to go if you want. And he's like, I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna talk to these guys when it's done. And so he sits there for another 15 minutes as they're wrapping the podcast. They bring me on the podcast.
Yeah.
And the Penn State assistant is there, and he listens, and then it ends, and he gets off, and he stays there another half hour talking to both of these guys. It was hilarious.
He was really nice.
He was like, He's like,
I was worried about.
I'm a fan,
He was so nice, and I apologize. I forget his name. Lincoln probably knows who it was.
Brian Toron, right?
He was like, I didn't want to ask him.
Super nice guy, by the way.
He was like, it does rhyme with moron. I was like, okay. I wasn't.
I've interacted with him on.
Was that Jack had set up an interview for us without telling us in advance? And I was going to have to interview someone whose name I didn't even know. Obviously, he's an assistant coach with Penn State, and they're really good. No. But I was having some internal panic attacks as we're trying to wrap up the show.
Jack and I worked on his name pronunciation. I've interacted with him a few times on social media too. Good guy. I talked to him a little bunch after the match too. He was also making his unofficial pick. He was flashing me hand signals for how many sets he thought the Nebraska match was going to go.
Yeah, he took the under on number of sets.
We were making our predictions. He's flashing me what he thought the match would go.
What an incredible day. You guys ended up doing two shows. You did a pregame at 4. You did a postgame show at night. You still have another podcast coming tomorrow. So you guys talked about it yesterday, but I'm curious for some leftover morning after thoughts on Nebraska's 3-1 win over Pitt. Watching especially what it was that the second set where Nebraska just absolutely ripped through them. It got off to a pretty interesting start in set one, but man, they dominated that one and a nice win in 4.
Yeah. I thought that. I mean, looking back, I mean, that's not a match that you worry too much about what the statistics are, but kind of you get a more feel for how the match went too. And I thought there were a lot of nerves to start, some very errant hits, some the setting was just a little bit off too. But like you said, when Nebraska got in their groove in that second set too, that you hate to say that's their ceiling for a match in early mid August, but that's as good as a team's going to play at this point of the season. I feel like against the caliber of Pitt.
Yeah, it's actually, I feel like it might be hard to judge what Nebraska is going to look like all season long based on playing Pittsburgh, who's one of the better serving and defensive teams in the country. So that's why this looked like a Big Ten football game last night where neither offense was that good. Both defenses were really good. I think Nebraska's offense has a ways to come. We saw that last night, but the serve and defense is once again going to be the identity of this team. And, that could take you pretty far. That could take you to a win over the number 3 ranked team in the country. I think Stanford's going to provide a different kind of challenge tomorrow afternoon. They're a lot more balanced. They've got more hitters. While Pittsburgh had the one great player in Olivia Babcock, the National Player of the Year, they didn't have a lot around her last night. And Stanford's going to throw a different type of challenge at them. But yeah, like we said going in, Nebraska's going to be really good this year.
Yeah. Anything surprise you guys about what you saw yesterday?
Not really, not in my mind. I thought they were good in the areas where I figured they would be good. And the areas that still needed to develop, we thought going in were what needed to develop. Like they're still working on those setter hitter connections. The location was off a little bit last night. Lincoln and I talked on volleyball late that, it's clear they're trying to run some different routes and some different tempos, and that stuff just takes time. So actually, this was pretty much what we thought might happen in the pregame show, a 4-set Nebraska win.
I predicted that. What I thought was the best match that I saw from Taylor Landfair in Nebraska uniform too. I think it's a different Taylor Landfair than played at Minnesota, was Big Ten Player of the Year too. But she had 8 kills, 8 blocks, and she was swinging hard too. I mean, she had a couple tips during the course of the match too, but when she was at her best, she was really swinging away. So I don't know if that was a surprise, but it was good to see that version of Taylor Landfair who is getting 3 or 4 points per set too. That's what Nebraska needs from that outsider hitter 2 position. So I don't know if it was a surprise, but it was good to see because you didn't know what you were going to get. She didn't play a lot in the alumni match too, and kind of was hit or miss in the scrimmage. So that was one thing that I think is a really big takeaway on the plus side for Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, before we let you go, football, volleyball, SoBack Week rolls on. You have another episode coming up tomorrow, and you'll be down there in the rail yard again today, right? What can people expect over the next couple of days from Volleyball State?
Probably some sunburned heads if yesterday was any indication. But yeah, we're Lincoln and I are gonna be down with Jack in the rail yard for the ABCA block party early this afternoon before the matches this afternoon. And then you can look for our coverage. Both Lincoln and I do some writing for Husker Max, and also everyone that's hearing this will also be able to tune in live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for our live recording of Volleyball State, where you can still interact with the I-80 Club Discord. You can do comments on YouTube. That's when we're going to be live each week during the season, live on Sunday nights at 7 o'clock. And then if you're not, and that's going to be for subscribers only. So if you're not a subscriber yet, patreon.com/I-80 Club. And then those will be released on Tuesdays throughout the season.
Yeah. Hey, and I think, it's going to be another volleyball extravaganza today too. You got 2 more matches. I know Jack's doing a bunch of interviews in the rail yard. The party is going to continue. I'm excited to see how many people turn out for this match. I'm also excited to see Vanderbilt play today. It's their first match in 40 years. They play for like 1 year in 80 to 81. So brand new program. I'm excited to see them. Jeff and I will write all about this for Husker Max. So, this is just the start. This is the start. Try not to get too burned out of night 1, but there's a lot of content coming, and we're excited to be back.
Excited to have you guys. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday as we kick off the first weekend of volleyball, the first weekend of football, and all of your guys' great coverage, and now writing for the same site as well with HuskerMax.com. So cool.
Let's go.
Thank you, boys.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
All right,
ya.
you too. Those are Jeff Sheldon and Lincoln Arneal. And now, Jack, we are here. Football is back. We are so incredibly excited. And it has been, a massive few days inside of the club. We had 2 shows from them yesterday. We had the debut of the Big Ten Breakdown with Ben Stevens, which you and I both had a chance to listen to. It was absolutely awesome. And we still have a whole lot of stuff. And again, over the next week, everything that we're doing is going to be available for free. And if you like what you see, we would love to have you subscribe. Patreon.com/I80 Club.
Shout out to Ben Stevens. Want to thank him for taking a risk and joining the club. 2 guys he doesn't know a whole lot, but still joined, and he's not making bank on this either. And so we thank him. I think he was I think he was interested in the concept and wanted to do some content. And Josh and I both listened to it yesterday. If you guys haven't heard it yet,
it's incredible. I mean,
he is like
he's more.
We thought he was very, very good. We thought he was really talented. You know, we had heard him on interviews. We couldn't have been more thrilled with the show, both of us. So,
Jack, what was more impressive, the knowledge that he had of all 18 teams, or the fact that he took 2 water breaks during an hour and 20 minutes talking solo straight through,
just nonstop? I was like, I was talking to Josh. I was like, I realized he probably has notes up on his screen. Even that said, it was still unbelievably impressive just to go through what he did. And I firmly believe, he said at the beginning of the show, his goal is to someday host a show like College Game Day. And like, I mean, I would be shocked. He will be have much bigger britches than the I80 Club at some point. So hopefully we can keep him around for the fun as long as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. So go check out that episode, because no Big Ten teams are playing today as week 0 gets underway. And so you still have plenty of days to get a listen on that one, but he will then have another preview coming up for week 1 next Friday. And his shows will always come out, as we call them, Jack, LeShun hours for the podcast feed, the audio podcast,
and Jack hours,
That's true. And then it will be available on YouTube at 8 a.m. every Friday. Brendan says, can we get a link to send friends to all the free shit this week? Yes, Brendan. It is called youtube.com/@I80 Club. That is where we are doing all of the stuff. And of course, we would love to have everyone subscribe if they want to join in and get extra episodes, bonus episodes, and more at patreon.com/I80 Club.
Hey,
Jack,
real quick. One other house cleaning note, Josh, as you would say.
Nice. Good reference.
There's not much on it yet. You might have noticed some of the emails coming in, Josh, today, but we have a very empty Facebook page, Instagram page, and there is a TikTok page, again, with nothing on it yet, but all of it, Facebook has a little on. TikTok we are working on, but the accounts all exist. If you are prone to using that kind of a social media, you're welcome to join in on those places too. This is something I've been meaning to do for like a month and a half, and I finally did it this morning. So got it going.
I have
a few
clips. I'm going to make my wife follow all these accounts. Bruce says, do we have MySpace?
No, we do not. We don't have Twitch, or we don't have what's the Twitter thing that's like Instagram? Whatever happened to that thing? Is that Spaces?
Oh, Threads.
That's still Threads.
We
is that
will
a
not
thing?
We will not be
That's
starting
still a thing?
a Threads. We will not be starting a Threads. Jabs points out that I noticed Josh shared some club stuff on Substack. Yeah, I started sharing, Jack, because I don't write or talk about running anymore, so I started sharing I80 club stuff on my personal Substack page to try to hey, running friends, you want to watch football content? Here you go. Jack Mitchell and I do a podcast sometimes.
All right.
All of that
is
available there. Jack, week 0. How we feeling, man? As football is now an hour and 15 minutes away from starting. I keep forgetting
that today.
How do you keep forgetting? How do you,
Josh,
and John, always forget that football is returning?
This is different. I
know you're busy.
I have not had a second to think yet. So, and that'll continue today. I hope I get to see some. Hopefully at the rail yard, they'll maybe put it on before the volleyball stuff is going on. So I still need to make some picks. Man, I got stuff to do here. But yeah, no, I'm thrilled. I'm excited. Kansas State, Iowa State is, I think, a really nice game to start whole thing with. Like,
two ranked teams.
It's a conference game. It's 2 local teams with a lot of crossover. 2 teams I both kind of like seeing have a little pain. That's kind of fun.
Nice.
And so, like, there's no way I'm going to be totally sad because one of them will have something bad happen to them. Yeah, and that should be a lot of fun. Ireland without the stress, I call that. And
Dude,
then,
seriously, 3 years ago, think of how you were feeling right now. You were so stressed. You were so worried.
Dude.
You had picked 10-2 as a joke, as a ha-ha, as a tee-hee. And now you don't have to have those feelings, though. You do have to have non-normal Saturday feelings very, very soon coming up on Thursday.
Hate it more every day. Every day it comes closer. I hate that game is on a Thursday so deeply and in my heart. I really do.
Jack, I was having a conversation with somebody in my life, and now I'm going through the Rolodex of trying to figure out who it was, because it was like not a huge football fan that I was talking to, and it was at the dentist. So I was at the dentist the other day. Shout out, no cavities. And so the dentist
would you
was
have
like,
shouted out the actual cavities? Shout out!
No, I would have avoided.
Shout out gingivitis. Hey.
So you know how you go and the hygienist does all the cleaning, and then the actual dentist comes over to look at your teeth like one more time? Well, this dentist I had never met before, and so she said, "So what do you do? What's your job?"
Oh boy!
And I'm like, "Well, I'm in sports."
Do you ever
talk.
lie? Do you ever just lie?
I should. I'm an accountant. You know,
I want to say
deal
that
with
so
numbers.
bad sometimes. Oh yeah, what station?
Yeah, because that's what happened. I said 1620,
station?
and she said, "What's that?" And so I said, "Oh
what's
my gosh,
that? I don't
Every
listen
time.
to this program.
Yeah.
What's this? When's this program on?"
But the person did know what Husker football is, and so I was like, "Yeah, they have this game coming up on Thursday," and the dentist was like, "Yeah, they keep playing on like these weird days, don't they?" And I was like, "Yeah, And so then real quickly, I went through the back of my head. I was like, well, in 2018, the game got canceled. 2019, it was normal, but then 2020 wasn't normal. 2021 wasn't normal. 2022 wasn't normal. 2023, they played on Thursday. Last year, they had a normal one, and now this year back on Thursday.
And it was great. And it was a delight.
Nice.
Do you remember how nice that was? It was a delight. There were highlights. They had things looked great. It was a
Remember
blowout.
that Carter Nelson play, Jack? Remember that
Carter Nelson play? I remember Dylan, the first time he threw across his body, and I was like, this. Or the time he dropped that one into Banks, and I was like, this connection is going to be an every week thing. Or the time he hit Nair and Stride, and I was like, these guys are going to break records together.
Yep.
So
and now you can't do that because it's on a Thursday. You're not really allowed to have the strong opinions on a Thursday post-game show, because we won't be doing a Thursday post-game show because we have things to do, like a morning show in Kansas City, Missouri on Friday morning.
Yes. Normalize separating sporting events from work, please. That'd be great. Could we do that?
Yeah, I know that you don't like it, but man, the closer we get to the Thursday, the more excited and jacked I am feeling right now. Like I love that it's on a Thursday. I absolutely adore it.
A bunch of it. I mean, I do hate the potential of being early. I really love being on Saturday. A huge part of it is I have to wake up freaking early. I got to drive across. It's going to be night and morning, and especially if it doesn't go well, is going to be miserable. This is going to be like me after a bad Nebraska basketball loss, going on after Nebraska ball with Bigelow and Caleb, like times 100 if they lose this.
It really will be, because then you'll have your actual job to do the next morning, and you'll be in pretty physical pain at that point in time, will you not? It'll be very
exhausted,
painful.
Sad, devastated, all of it.
Not wanting to have any conversations with anybody. Like, you're not going to want to do anything.
Unlike the Nebraska ball, after Nebraska ball show, where I can just open it and be like, this is our stupid show. I don't want to do it. Caleb, please talk. I'm not going to. Like, I can't do that on the radio. I guess I could. Nate Rohr would probably do it. He would talk through my pain.
I mean, I would say that'd be a good bit, but I don't think you're going to have to do a post-game show after a loss, so that's going to be good. I think you're going to get to do a nice morning show where you're in a good mood and you're excited for the Royals-Nebraska game that night and all those things.
I just saw our pregame radio schedule. I believe it's scheduled to go till either 3 or 4 a.m.
What?
Yeah.
The post-game stuff? I guess the game is going to end at midnight.
Yeah, because it'll end at midnight, and they don't start the call-in show, I don't think, for an hour. It is.
Yeah.
And so I think I will almost be following. Again, I've told the story a million times. When Nebraska played in Columbia, Missouri in like 2008 or whenever that was, it was an 8 o'clock kickoff, and there was a delay. And Bishop and I started the show, and Jeff Culhane called in at the very beginning of the show, while he was leaving doing the call-in show. at the old Haymarket studio. So
yeah, and it pretty much will be like that, because when I finish Big Red Overreaction, when I do that post game show, I get in my car and I leave, and their post game show is like barely started. So I guess that does make sense, because we're going to be doing our post game show until probably 2. We're probably going to be doing it until 2 that night. Or
people can go. People can do the yours. They can do the network one, the KLIN one, and then they can take a quick nap and get back up. And then I'm on, right? You can go to me at that point.
Happer's going to be getting up early and driving all the way to Omaha, Nebraska, so he can do his show back from Omaha. John and I will be doing the same.
He's staying there, but driving to Omaha? Wow.
Correct. Yeah, because we all debated that of should we drive home right away or should we stay and then leave the next morning. And I think all of the significant others basically of everyone was like, don't drive after the post.
Happer should come do the show at my house, by the way. We should talk about that.
Oh, I don't know. He might be interested in that, because I know he's not going to the Royals game that night. So I know.
But he could sleep in anyway. This is offline talk. If he wants to, tell him. Call me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Matt says a lot of listeners at 1 a.m. on a Friday morning. I bet. Hey, if Nebraska wins and feeling pretty good, I bet we'll have some people. We'll have some people that night.
There's gonna be people driving back. Yeah, for sure.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Because it's on a stupid Thursday.
But if they win, Jack, how good is that week 1 Saturday going to be?
Much better. It'll be nice.
You're going to be in such a good mood.
I don't know, Josh.
Football.
I haven't really experienced what that feels like. A week 1 early week win or week 0 win, and then go into a stress-free Saturday. When did we ever have that? Because they lost to Illinois, they lost to Northwestern. That's correct. And I didn't even get to watch the early game again on a Thursday because I was starring in a varsity high school football game for Lincoln East.
Oh, so that sucks.
Yeah, same time. Yeah, even then it was a problem.
Because that is the last, they played in some of those kickoff classic type games, like 2002 against Arizona State was
Black Coaches
early
Association.
August. Yeah, like they did in those. But
West Virginia, they played in 94 too on a Sunday. It was on a Sunday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yep. Yeah. It's only good when you win. If you don't win that opening Thursday, it really does sap all of the enjoyment out of the entire rest of the weekekend. It really would sap everything out of the entire rest of the weekend.
Yeah. Hey,
La Tech says Husker for MU.
Yeah, La Tech. Wait, was that a 98? Oh yeah, was that a week 0 game? The Tim Rattay and what's his name game? The wide receiver. What was his name? The one who broke the record?
Yeah, he had like 400 yards or something like that, right? That's so crazy. I have a weird memory of that game. We went to a family friend's house, and I remember he had a PlayStation. That was the first time I had ever played a PlayStation before, was at his house while we're watching the game. I was like, that's pretty cool.
I was in college. We had to go to one of my friend's relatives who had satellite television, like a C-band satellite, I think.
Oh, my gosh.
To get it. It was crazy, but yeah. So I don't know. But Josh, did you see? And I'm sorry to do football player talk for multiple weeks in a row. I know that's not what this podcast is about, and I apologize. No. I know you guys do not tune in.
In this house, we fire coaches.
In this house, we don't talk
about players.
It's not about players. Why would we tune into a show like this to hear about players? A depth chart was released. Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
Oh yeah. John and I were talking about it yesterday, Jack, how Keith Mann could be the best writer of all time. He could be this generation's great American novelist in the first part of the notes, but nobody reads it because they're like, depth chart, immediate scroll, seal it. Keith could have a manifesto in the first half where he's saying all sorts of things. I actually didn't like working with Bo Pelini, but nobody would know it because they're immediately skipping down to, okay, so what's the left tackle situation? What's the running back situation? What's the backup quarterback situation? And that's what everybody did right away.
And people don't know this about Keith Mann. You hear the last name, the surname Mann. If you've seen the movie Field of Dreams, the author Terrence Mann is based on Keith Mann. Yes.
Yeah, and his notes.
Right. But nobody's ever read it. Right. Excellent. And nobody was reading Terrence Mann's books at the time either, but he was a genius. Right. And he didn't believe Kevin Costner. And then all of a sudden he did. He was like, I've been lying the whole time. I didn't. Sorry. Spoiler alert. Why is that guy such a jerk? Not Keith, Terrence.
Well, he'd gone through. He was a black man who was living through the civil rights era, Jack.
In that moment. I'm not talking about like large scale. I meant in the moment. He's taking him to Fenway and they're both he's obviously hallucinating the same stuff as Kevin Costner. And he just acts like he doesn't. Come on
Fair,
now.
fair.
What? Who would? No one
dog
would
and
do
a beer.
that.
Dog and a beer. Dog and a beer. D'Lo, the boat rocker was a classic. Terrence Mann sounded like such a great author. Anyway, okay, we're getting off.
Well,
track.
I mean, listen, people don't want to hear player talk, so you might as well keep going.
Give me your first reaction.
Man.
What was the first?
What was the first?
That like jumped out to you?
Riley Van Poppel, number 2.
Yeah,
that was the
wondering.
very first thing. We just had the summer of RVP. Okay,
we did.
Right? We went to the beach thinking about RVP. We were out at our kids' baseball games. It was all RVP all the time for me, especially after
Michael Severe.
I wasn't going to name names. I wasn't going to. He brought down the R. It was 3 tablets. One said R, one said V, one said P. Michael did. He's a strong man, so he can handle all 3. And so,
he is a strong
like
man.
This summer, that's all it was. And then to see that Elijah Judy is Jerry Judy's wide receiver. Elijah Judy.
You made that mistake earlier in the summer, and Michael actually texted me making a joke about it. So nice job correcting yourself. You corrected yourself this time. He's probably going to give you credit and say, excellent job by Jack. Excellent job by Jack.
In any case, Elijah Judy, number 1. Well, he and I both made one mistake then. Cool, we're even. Anyhow, that surprised me.
It definitely did.
That was definitely a surprise. I was not surprised by a lot of people talked about like the tackle tie with Gatula and Pritchett, and like none of that didn't really surprise. The only thing that surprised me was maybe that
TJ Lateef. What about TJ?
You felt the momentum for that coming. I don't know.
That's what I said. I said yesterday, Jack, that if you would have told me a month ago that TJ Lateef was going to be number 2, I would have said, "Oh, that's interesting." By the time it happened, though, it was like I expected it to be the case.
Yeah, it felt.
I thought he would be the number 2 quarterback. He had a really good camp.
Now, this is one of those deals where, God forbid, knock on wood, that if Ryle would really have a long-term injury, I wonder if they would think about which one they went to, like full time.
I've been wondering the exact same thing, because I feel like the example that I gave yesterday was his helmet comes off, Dylan's helmet comes off, and so he has to sit on the sideline for one play. What would then, what would that mean? What would they do in that moment?
They put Gramstead in then, yeah.
That's my guess. They put Gramstead. But if he, knock on wood, let's say something really bad happens, I'm guessing that they go with Lateef.
Yeah, probably.
Are we being idiots with this? Because D'Lo, and I saw this a lot from people yesterday, the 4-star quarterback ahead of the 5'7", 145-pound NAIA kid? No way. Like,
well, it changed. I mean, it changed, and I think we all said we're not that surprised. So.
I guess let me ask it this way: should this have been the expectation the entire time because he's a 4-star and the other quarterback is a former NAIA quarterback? Like, why are we surprised, or why would we have been surprised a month ago?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody redshirts anyone anymore, but that would be one reason. The potential that they maybe had him penned in for a red shirt and they can only play him so many games. That could have been one of the reasons. We haven't seen a lot of him, but and Lateef looked like fine in the spring game thing that he did, but I didn't watch him and like, oh, that dude's
number 2.
That dude's clearly the number 2 against an albeit NAIA guy who's thrown more passes than all the quarterbacks on this team combined in games. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not shocked by it necessarily at all, but it did change. So I thought it was notable, but just because we bring it up doesn't mean we're shocked by everyone. I don't think.
Fight says, curious to see if they try to maintain his red shirt as the number 2 guy.
That's what I just said.
Jack,
yeah.
How often do we do the whole like, oh man, it could be him for this year and then him for this year and then him for this year? It's like, man, best laid plans are stupid. And I feel in this era of college football, just play the guy. Don't worry about red shirts. If you have a snap that needs to have the quarterback, put in your actual number 2 quarterback. Don't try to maintain a guy's red shirt, because you know what? The statistics say that half of this quarterback room is going to overturn anyway. And so that means that there's like a 50-50% chance, 50-50 chance that Lateef is going to leave anyway. So like, why not just put him on the field?
Josh, and the other thing I wondered is because they had Gramstead stay and they brought this Davila guy in from Purdue as well. It did make me wonder if how confident they were that he would be ready in the fall to be the backup.
How confident they were that Lateef would be ready in the fall?
Yeah. I mean, they keep all these veterans around. Well, Davila's not a veteran, but Gramstead around. And I think he's kind of there for both potentially being a backup and as kind of a coach on the field. But I I don't know. Yeah, they didn't plan their roster like they were sure he was going to be the guy either, to be honest. So
Mark says, what are the redshirt rules? Redshirt rules now are you can play in 4 games in the regular season, and that still counts. Also, Jack, you can play in 4 games in the regular season and then in the postseason, and that wouldn't count against the 4. So let's say that Latif played, let's just say he played in the next 4 games and then he didn't play in any other regular season game. If he played in Nebraska's bowl game, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't count against him.
Right. Yeah.
So
I don't know. No, but that's not shocking. And then, all of the surprises to me were on the defensive side. The big surprises to me were on the defensive side. And the other one was McGahee, number 3 at linebacker.
Yeah.
Another guy I've been talking about all summer. Inaccurately, I hope not. And I hope there's just a lot more movement, or maybe, I don't know. That really surprised me, though, to see McGahee down there, because I'm like super excited about him. And he ended up
and going back to Van Poppel, that it was Williams Nwaneri that was in front of him.
No, Judy was in front of
that's
Van
right.
Poppel.
Yeah, but Nwaneri was was at the top of the depth.
He was at the edge. He was on the other edge. Yeah.
That, you want to talk about a surprise for me? The way we've been talking about him versus seeing the depth chart, I was genuinely surprised by that. Surprised.
Nwaneri's kind of interesting because, like, when they said he was going to transfer, that was like a super big deal. Remember, like, just going back to his recruiting ratings and what the competition they had
for Missouri.
But when he said he was going to transfer to Nebraska, like, that was like, whoa, this is huge. And then it felt like after that moment, everyone was trying to like manage expectations on him from the moment that he got here.
From the jump. Then, that's a great point.
From the time he got, and then he gets here, and now he's starting, like, seemed like was going to be happening when they got him. So, and he's an or with Leonard, and if they do anything like they ran it with Tony White, they're going to play 9.
Oh, for sure.
They're going to play 9 guys off,
and you're going to be triggered.
Line, and it might not matter. I'm not triggered by that. I take back a little of what I said on that, but that was really a Tony White thing, is that he would, 9 guys is not an exaggeration, even for a close game, getting significant snaps. And then, McCullough, number 1, but Jordan Ochoa ahead of Willis McGahee. And I know Ochoa's got a lot of talk, and he got some play in the ball game, but
Hey, speaking, Jack, of Ochoa, how about Mike Schaefer hanging out with us inside of our Discord this morning? And by the way, we read comments from inside the Discord server or super chats on YouTube. He writes, Schaefer's stock report. Buy Ochoa stock, sell McCullough as a pass rusher, and buy there's a chance 3 Jacks, not Mitchells, could be on the field at times. What do you think of the Schaefer stock report? And Shade, could we make this a weekly bit? Send us a couple of takes that we could go with the Schaefer stock report.
3 Jacks. I love that defense. The 3. I can't remember how to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The
3 and out.
Now it's a 3 and out, and this is 3 and out, and this is 3 Jacks.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, they're coming together. They're coming together. Call.
Okay, that's interesting. So I assume he means McCullough, Ochoa, and McGahee then. So maybe that'd be great. Maybe that'd be.
Dude, I'm excited for Ochoa. If you, like, Jack, who is like the, I'm trying to figure out how to describe this, like the August MVP or the August player that has like jumped most in your estimation, or you could be like, say this in the aggregate of like Dylan Raiola, he is what he is, right? Like, I'm trying to find who is the player that came off the radar in a way. Okay,
Ochoa is one. Mosey would be another one.
Interesting. Yeah. I think Ochoa might be the answer. I think I'm now more excited to see Ochoa than any other player not outside of the obvious Dane Key, Dylan Raiola, Emmett Johnson.
Tyler Kanak would be another one.
Sure. Yeah.
I didn't hear a lot of spring talk in the club, like, watch out for Tyler Kanak this year.
We were too busy firing assistants. We didn't have time for line talk at the time.
D'Lo,
I lost all my money on Jalen Lloyd stock. Yeah. Ooh, this is another way then to ask this, Jack. Which stock that you're holding right now are you most concerned? Because you have such a strong opinion about them that they're going to be really good.
Until Mike said that, McGahee would have been the answer for me.
Yeah.
That's probably it, I would say. And then I just some of the other real quick things I noticed on the depth chart here. How about the spring stock of Quentin Ives?
Oh,
and then the
totally
fall stock of Quentin Ives.
Dude, and he is sadly a really big example of an early injury in camp just completely sapping everything out. I mean,
true.
he gets hurt on day one at the practice that the media is there for a few minutes. They literally see him go off the field. If I remember right, Jack, the next time that the media was at a normal practice that wasn't, the big event that they had at Memorial Stadium. So the next time the media sees them, he wants to go back onto the field, and they're like, no, pull back. Don't, you got some time still. And in that moment, I just remember thinking he has probably lost one, if not two spots in the depth chart. And sure enough, he's now listed as fourth. And so before the camp, that would have been a surprise, but obviously by the time it arrived, it wasn't anymore.
By the way, Mekhi Nelson is number 2, so he might be a candidate too for the fall MVP as well.
Ooh.
Or excuse me, the summer MVP.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Big Red Easy a few minutes ago mentioned, and this was a player he's excited to see, Cortez Mills.
There's another one
Mills.
that you hear a lot about during that from the people who know stuff like Schaefer.
Yeah.
For sure. Only other things that I had written down to mention. Great to see Carter Nelson on the depth chart at number 3. Lindemeyer 1, Harburg or Nelson number 3.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's kind of.
I think, Jack, I do not want to hold any Carter Nelson stock for this season. For this season, which we talked about a little bit on Wednesday's show, available now for patrons at patreon.com/ID Club.
Don't do this.
I just don't want to get hurt. Jack, I don't want to get hurt by
next thing you know
for a tight end.
He's going to be scoring 7 preseason touchdowns for the Giants, and you're just going to look like an idiot. You're going to look like a complete idiot.
I often look like an idiot.
How about the place kicker situation? Who had Kyle Cunanan?
QAnon?
No, I don't think so. That's it.
John and I call him the conspiracy.
And John Hull tied. Who looked like he was pretty solid last year. And
Hull!
After all of this, the legend of Tristan Alvano is third on this.
That's so sad.
Oh,
man.
it is really sad. I feel bad for him. Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
That was
the greatest player in the history of Nebraska football, of course, the starting punter, Mr. Archie Wilson, and his bicycle kicks and trick plays and one punting.
Family on
is gonna be there.
Australian Good Morning America. And
my God.
He is. Holy cow, this guy. Is Archie getting too big for Nebraska football?
People are asking,
It's a
Jack.
question.
People are asking.
Is he bigger than the team? I don't know.
JB says that tight ends might be a weakness this season. Lindenmeyer hasn't done much in his career. This is Harburg's first year at tight end. Nelson is young and injury prone. That could be bad.
It was interesting. They kind of switched over to Lindenmeyer after Dana Holgerson got there last year, I noticed. His snaps went way up when Holgerson got there. He got used. Well, it was Lindenmeyer and Borkacher. Still the most puzzling transfer I've ever
so
seen.
Strange
on every end of it. Borkacher, because I feel like he would be. It felt like Dana got here and Borkacher and Lindenmeyer, but Borkacher in particular, completely changed his role in a positive way on the team. And so I was shocked when he transferred.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something else there. I have no idea. Or maybe it was just money. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, he did go to Texas A&M. They have a lot of cash.
I know they do. So, but he didn't have, I think he would have been good, but I was just surprised that his stats and or film, again, not demeaning him, but surprised at Texas A&M based on what he did, which wasn't a lot. He didn't have that many opportunities here that they went in on him to give him NIL or whatever they did. So
yeah, Bruce says big Trev fan, I guess. Yeah, maybe he's just a big guy.
That
he
could
wants
be.
to work with Trev.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's it. I don't really know.
Yeah.
And then returners, interesting.
Yeah.
Your kick returners.
Yeah, we had been wondering about kick. We knew Barney was going to be at punt. We didn't know about what was going on at the kick return spot.
Mosey, Kenneth Williams, Mekhi Nelson.
What do you think?
I don't know because I've never seen any of them play. I have no opinions. I can't really.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about those guys.
I just hope they're fast, and I hope that there isn't holding penalties or blocking the back penalties, and they decide to return it for no reason, and then suddenly it's 1st and 10 from the 12.
I don't care if they're fast. I hope they're smart and they can hold the ball and catch the ball.
My least favorite things that happen in a football game, semi-regularly with my own team, there is a fresh hell of a kickoff return penalty. The annoyance, especially given how far out you get it if it's a touchback these days, especially in the NFL, Jack. Did you know touchbacks in the NFL this year start at the 35-yard line? 35 yards.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I get so annoyed when it's like, just do the fair catch and start at the 35 or in the 30 instead of freaking trying to run and then you get a penalty and then it's 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. I hate it, man.
And in college, what's the rule? NFL's
25.
25 in college. So
25.
Man, 35 is ridiculous. I would fair catch everything.
Yeah, because they're trying to, they had the whole dynamic kickoff BS.
Oh, that's right.
Last year, yeah. And so part of it is if the ball is in the air, like it's all convoluted. Yeah, I don't like it, man. Can we just make kickoffs like they were when you and I were younger? Like, not to celebrate like head injuries, but God, I miss old kickoffs. And like, remember when you could onside kick? Those were the days, Jack. Those were good days.
Yeah, onside kicks have really gone well for Nebraska.
Yeah, they definitely have. They definitely have.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. By the way, Barney, the punt returner.
Yeah.
Which, we knew. And then Andrew Marshall, and he's the cornerback transfer from Idaho.
From the FCS level, yeah. All right. Any other thing on the depth chart before we move on? We have a few other things that we will get to on today's episode.
Defensive backs were exactly what you expected, pretty much.
For sure.
It's all the veterans at number one, but at each position there's a guy that looks like they could come up and
the next guy.
Donovan Jones and Jeremiah Charles at corner and Amari Sander and then Caleb Benning. I don't know a lot about Jameer Khan at nickel, but he, I guess, is on that list too. And
Matt Rule's had some really positive things to say about him lately.
And then like Rex Guthrie, I know more about Derek Branch than I do Rex Guthrie. So they're the two guys listed at Rover behind Deshaun. So I think you'll see a variety of people there too, moving around a little bit. I kind of think I don't know if it'll be quite to the level of volume of guys played, but I don't think that'll change a ton about this defense. I'd be surprised if it does.
Yeah. So that's the Nebraska football depth chart for 2025. Jack, should we get to the Saturday flight and talk some general college football? So the season is of course now about 50 minutes away, and so we will be doing this. If you are brand new here, one of the things that we do every week is we get very excited for the games, and I tried to make it look like a little menu this year, Jack. So look at this. We're curating the schedule for you.
How is there not a brewery that has sponsored this yet? It's amazing.
I know. Well, because we stopped searching for advertising.
Yeah, but if they came to us. Also,
what did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong already?
I mean, there's a misspelling, but look.
Did I spell curated wrong? I did spell curated wrong.
You know what, Josh?
Damn it!
I don't like making fun of people for their inability to type some things correctly. I would not do that.
It didn't give me the underlined word.
The things I don't do are make fun of people for their internet connection and for not being able to spell.
Which I fixed. Well. My internet connection is great these days.
Usually,
there's no more problems with the internet connection. Every time that you think something is wrong with my internet, by the way, it looks great on YouTube. So I think it is actually your internet that is having the issues.
I think it's me. I think you're just getting confused because I'm so forgiving about it that you don't even know what I'm saying, probably.
Interesting. Well, how about this, Jack? As we get to the Saturday flight, which is not curated, but it is curated.
Wow, look at that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Immediate. Edit the whole thing while we watch. This is fun.
Yep, exactly. That's called multitasking. So normally when we do the Saturday flight, we look time by time, like we go early, we go mid-afternoon, we go evening, and we go Sicko's time zone. Jack, there is only 8 games on today, and so I was able to fit all of them on the Saturday flight. And, of course, it begins with Farmageddon. A ranked Big 12 matchup comes our way in less than an hour. God, this is so glorious.
Wow.
So glorious.
And I haven't even thought I wanted to make a pick in one of the contests I'm in. Don't tell me the line. Let me guess the line. I don't know. I haven't even
actually don't know what the line is. I think I do.
Kansas State versus probably, man, this is tough on the line. I bet Kansas State's like 2.5 point favorite.
I think it's like 3.5, so I think you're pretty close to it. Yeah, you're pretty close to it. I'm going with the Wildcats, man. I like Kansas State to get it done in this game versus Iowa State. I think they're going to go to 1-0 in conference and move forward after.
Still got Dylan Edwards, right? Colorado transfer, Kansas boy. Yes, they still have him.
Yep, they still have him.
They still have Avery Johnson.
Yep.
Fringe Heisman candidate going into last year.
People were so excited for Avery Johnson last year. My God.
talk about two guys play quarterback in the state of Kansas 1 year ago that people were talking about dark horses as Heisman, and you forget are even playing this year. Avery Johnson and Daniels for Kansas, the non commander.
Jalen Daniels.
Wow,
I can tell somebody doesn't listen to Big 12 podcast previews, because if you listen to those, you know both of those guys are back, Jack. Come on, man. Get in the game.
Well, first of all, I did, because I was the one who just said it. And I also did. I listened to that 2-hour
that was
shout
great.
Out split zone duo. I listened to over like 4 Mo's, but I listened to it all. So
yeah.
Oh,
by the way, the guy that they had on that episode to talk about the Big 12, he'll be joining us on the I-80 football show.
Nice. I liked him.
Yeah.
He was very good. I don't remember his name. He was very good.
Shehan Shayaraja, I believe is how it's pronounced. I'll get it right by the time I talk to him in a month and a half. ESPN2, noon, Incarnate Word and Nichols, Jack. So we got a little 2 TV setup going on in the noon hour.
Do we?
How fun is that?
I guess so.
Yeah. Tough hang there.
Listen, okay. Let's be honest about this whole thing real quick. There are 2 games I'm interested in because they're of the teams involved. The rest of them I'm interested in them because they're football and it's on TV. Okay. I would say that about today.
Dave Fight asks, what the hell is Mountain West Video? That's a great question as we get to 3 o'clock. So it is an app. If you download, it's like ESPN Plus. It's just called Mountain West Video. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. And so Idaho State at UNLV at 3 o'clock if you want to watch another football game in the afternoon portion.
What? We still have dirty, rotten scoundrels, and it's 3 weeks overdue at Mountain West Video? Listen, I'm finding a new video rental place in Laramie.
Okay, that was pretty good, Jack. That was actually pretty good. 3:30 on ESPN2, Portland State versus Tarleton State. Again, this is, if you have things to do in the afternoon, this is the time. I'm going to take Banks for an afternoon walk during the 3 o'clock games because there's just not really, honestly, a whole lot that I'm interested in that time of the day, and we'll just be gone for a half hour. But, Jack, at night, you said, is this the other game, Fresno at Kansas?
Yeah. That one I'm interested in because Kansas still has all those, like, they were supposed to be so exciting and crazy and fun last year. And like I said, Daniels Daniels wasn't even really a dark horse. People had him in their top 5 as a Heisman candidate last year. And injuries were an issue, but yes.
Dude, they were Nebraska-like with all their 1-score losses. I think they started the season like 0-5 and 4 of them, I think, or 5 of them, maybe all 5 were by 1 score. So they got off to a pretty terrible start. And they have a new stadium this year, Jack. How fun will that be?
And they have the probable next Nebraska head coach running them. So,
Lance Leipold, baby. Get ready for some Lance Leipold in your life. So that's the 5:30 game. ESPN has a 6 o'clock game, Mercer versus UC Davis. CBS Sports Network has Sam Houston at Western Kentucky. And then ABC, Jack, at 6:30, NC Central and Southern. And Stanford at Hawaii. And Corey said this earlier in the Discord chat. Why is this game at 6:30? He said this needs to be a late night kick.
Agreed.
6:30 just feels wrong. It's way too early.
CBS wants the inventory as the answer to the question, number one. And it reminds me of when when Hawaii played UCLA early last year. And it was so weird to have it like a daytime game in Hawaii. It started at like 11 a.m. local time. I feel like probably the same time. It was weird. It was bizarre.
Yeah.
And then when I watched UCLA, I was like, well, this team's going to suck.
Yeah. The thing that I want with Hawaii football, Jack, is if I'm watching a Hawaii home game, it needs to be dark where I live and sunny there. When it's sunny in both locations,
it's way less cool.
Too weird. Yeah,
way
it really
less
is.
Cool.
It doesn't make Hawaii. It just makes Hawaii seem like a place, like cool. They also have sunrises and sunsets.
I mean, they could be playing it in Grand Island, also an island. Yeah.
And this game could be a tough hang. I think Stanford is going to lose. I think Stanford sucks. Stanford and Purdue should play this year to see who is the worst of the power schools.
Didn't you hear Andrew Luck is in charge there?
Cool. Very cool.
He's a smart guy. I don't know if you know this. Wow.
Yeah. People forget that he's a very smart person.
There's many smart people. Many people are saying at Stanford.
So that is the Saturday flight as it comes our way starting in just under an hour. Do you have any leftover college football takes, Jack, on the season as we get ready to kick off the 2025 iteration? Anything you want to get off your chest?
I'm not ready for a full slate today, just again, because there's just too much going on with the Nebraska game and everything. I am really ready to dive into a full slate next week, but I like the appetizer. I like that there's one good game here with teams that I'm very interested in, and one maybe interesting game as well. But this is the day you just need the games on. You just need the visual. You need the sounds. You need the score bugs if you're Josh. You need all of those. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, baby. Oh, man. The bands, the pageantry, right? You know, the Tarleton State mascot running out like we always remember, that kind of thing. Go Tarleton.
There's something about week 0, like having one game that you are truly interested in, and then a bunch of games that you're like, oh, I'll check it out. Like it just
perfect
it feels
for today.
It really is. You know, and I would say it tonight. I'm interested in Kansas because I think Kansas is fun. And I want to see if Stanford is as garbage as I think they will be. Like, so I'm even going to get something out of tonight's game. But the Iowa State-Kansas State game, like, this is pretty sweet. To start off with a top 25 matchup and a game where, Jack, the loser is going to feel so far behind in the Big 12 race just because, like, this is not a game you want to lose in week 0 for the rest of the season.
Yeah. And do you remember the question I asked you maybe 2 weeks ago about this game? And I'll ask it once again.
Okay.
Do you believe the winner of this game? What are the chances? Maybe is the way to ask this. What are the chances the winner of the game, the winner of the Aer Lingus Irish Classic, will be taking on Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship this year?
Well, I picked Kansas State to win the game, and I have Kansas State playing Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship.
100.
So I think that if they win, I'm guaranteeing it. It's going to put them so like tiebreaker stuff. They're going to be feeling good. They're literally going to be in first place, only for a few weeks, but they will be in first place in the conference. And like, this is a big game. It'd be one thing, Jack, if Kansas State was playing like West Virginia. Like, who gives a shit? Like, congrats on moving to 1-0 against West Virginia. But moving to 1-0 against a fellow competitor, like, that's a big deal.
Couple of things to note for Iowa State. Rocco Beck will be starting his 5,000th year at quarterback. He's still only a junior, interestingly enough. Starting tight end, don't forget, for Kansas, Ben Brahmer from Pierce, Nebraska. Oh,
how could I forget?
That one still hurts a little. I'm not going to lie. And I believe that's it. I was trying to see if there were any other like transfers or anything that was of interest here. It doesn't look like it, or any other Nebraska connections, at least for Iowa State. But yes, Rocco Beck still the quarterback at Iowa State.
Awesome. So we got that coming up. You got a national championship pick?
I don't think it feels like it's. I don't know which school, but it feels like it's got to swing back to the SEC this year. It feels like it does. And I definitely don't think Penn State, something's going to happen. Like Penn State, something's going to happen.
That's Ohio, who I picked, Jack. I picked Penn State to win it all.
I'd pick Ohio State before I'd pick Penn State, but I don't think I'll pick either of them. And so then, but I just don't think it'll be Texas either, though. But man, give me another week on this. I don't think it's going to be a Big Ten team.
Jab says, is it too soon to get a record prediction from Jack? We know Josh is 7-5. So I'll say this. So Jack and I still have I-80 Live coming up on Tuesday. And then on Thursday on the football show, Jack will be on with me for part of that. So we will get Jack's prediction, but I imagine, do you need to think about it for a few more days?
Well, I've quasi given it. Should we save it for then, or do you want me to?
I say let's save it. Let's save it for that. Maybe is this good podcasting, Jack, on Tuesday? What if we went game by game? I don't think you and I have ever done that before, where we literally went game by game and we put together, are they going to win this game? Are they going to lose this game? Are they going to win this game? Are they going to lose this game? Let's do that on Tuesday.
That's good. Yeah, we can do that.
Perfect. All right, so we'll do that on Tuesday as Nebraska gets ready for the season. I picked Penn State over Texas for the record. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to break through. I'm very much buying into the Arch Manning hype, and I think he's going to be awesome. I picked Alabama to be really good this year, Jack. I think they're going to rebound and make the Final Four with Kalen DeBoer. I had, who's my other Final Four team? Can't remember who it was. Bama, Texas,
Oregon,
Ohio State. Maybe it was Ohio State. That's who I had. Texas beating Ohio State, and I had Penn State beating Bama in the semis, and then Penn State winning it all. People don't like the Penn State pick. That's fine. You know what?
Well, listen, everybody's picking it. I just don't. it's one of those things is like, until I see it, I won't believe it.
Tom Osborne couldn't win the big game until he could. Like I'm just kind of banking on that just happens sometimes, where a coach hasn't been able to do it and then they suddenly do it. Ryan Day,
and by the way,
Michigan and still won the title.
If they don't get to the championship, the semifinals for sure. That season's a huge disappointment to Penn State, and the hot seat turns up for James Franklin.
Yeah. If you're
like
talking about a
semifinals,
minimum
right? Semifinals.
Yeah.
Minimum.
If you're talking about a minimum expectation for Penn State, they have to make it to the semis.
Yeah, I agree.
But you can make an argument that they have to get to the Natty. You very much could. I think, Jack, if they made the semifinals with 1 or 2 wins against like notable teams, because remember last year, who did they beat? SMU and Boise. And so there were some that were like, okay, come on. Really? Like, it's SMU and Boise. So if they made the semis and they did it with wins over, Alabama and Clemson, I don't know how that would happen. But like then people would say, okay, you know what? You earned our respect. By the way, speaking of Clemson, that's the team I'm kind of
there's
selling
another
on.
possible.
I'm selling on Clemson. I have them winning the league. I do not have them going anywhere near the national championship game. Absolutely nowhere near the national championship game.
Interesting.
Man,
it's going to be like
by Georgia in the opener last year. I don't know what has changed so much other than they decided to go to the portal a little bit.
Josh, it's going to be a Georgia, Alabama, or LSU year again. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Ahen.
Look
Football
at
and
Alex.
volleyball is so back week. Thank you.
Oh, that's a great reminder. Football and volleyball are so back as we get ready to say goodbye. Here's what we have coming up over the next couple of days. So this is our only podcast, Jack, for today as we roll on into our afternoons. But you'll be doing stuff with Volleyball State. You'll be helping out. Well, do you know, is any of the stuff you're doing recorded? Will it be available on podcasts at a later date?
I don't think so. I think that is live only,
Bummer.
I believe.
Bummer.
So, yeah.
No worries. Well, speaking of
I'm
Volleyball
going to take
State,
down his super chat so we can see this.
so we can see everything. Volleyball State coming up tomorrow. That will be the next episode that we have here inside of the I-80 Club. That will be live at 7 o'clock, available on YouTube normally throughout the season, Jack. This is available only for subscribers, and then it is released publicly on Tuesdays, but not tomorrow.
And that'll be kind of a combo, which we normally won't have on Sundays, of Volleyball Late and the Sunday Night Volleyball State.
That is true. It'll be a
They
bit of
have
a
a match.
recap, of the entire weekend and more. So that's what we have coming up. If you're hanging out right now with us and you are not a subscriber and you've heard all about some of the things that we've been doing, we are going to release publicly a couple of episodes we did this summer, and it will start, Jack, on Monday morning with the 2015 BYU Be Kind Husker Rewind, which Jack and I were trying to figure out which was the most fun. And we think we had a lot of fun with that, in particular because a joke took off in the middle of it that might result in somebody deleting their tweets. Let's just say that could happen over the course of the next few days. So we will.
Many people. Let's not single out one person. It was many people who had the strong take on rugby punting.
Yeah,
it's unfair to characterize just one person. I'm sticking up for him.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll have that coming out on Monday. On Tuesday, Jack and I will be doing an I-80 Live. Jack, we have not officially announced this, but we have a new time now for I-80 Live moving forward.
Yes, we are going to be going. Some people wanted it at 7. Some people wanted it at 8. We had arguments both ways for it, so we just split the baby and did it both ways, and we will do it at 7:30, which I think Josh and it will have us at our peak performance at that time. So hopefully it works for you. No matter when we pick it, there's going to be somebody who's disappointed, but if you want it later, you can always watch or listen on demand. So
that will be available Tuesday night. We hope you join us. That will go game by game on the entire Nebraska football season. That's coming up Tuesday night at 7:30. On Wednesday, we will also again publicly release a episode from this summer. And Jack, we are unleashing the Wang Nachos Husker Games Draft that you, John Bishop, Mike Schaefer, and myself did all the way back in May. We had so much fun. It was like 90 minutes. We had a great time, so that will be available.
Which
coming up on
spoiler,
Wednesday.
I win it, but I make a controversial pick at the end.
I look back at that draft for myself, and I have so many regrets from my very first pick. I biffed it. I biffed it immediately. I totally screwed up. Screwed up. So that is coming up on Wednesday. On Thursday, I-80 Football Show. Noah Eagle, the voice of NBC Sports' college football coverage, will join us inside of the I-80 Club. We'll talk about the upcoming football season with him. And then Jack and I, our final thoughts on Nebraska and Cincinnati. That will be available. Podcast Fiend, LeShun, and Jack Mitchell hours at 4 a.m. and then available on YouTube at 8 a.m. on Thursday. What?
No, it's a lot. I'm just excited about all the different things going on. I'm not upset. I was going to mention, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to get to next Saturday because I know we had a question.
Well, hey, we have a couple other. We got to get to the other days. I'm going in order. Have you noticed I did Monday and then Tuesday and then Wednesday and then Thursday? So then there's Friday, which is
Friday. Oh,
Big Ten Breakdown.
Big Ten Breakdown. We got a new show. I forget.
Yeah, even though it's on the graphic. So yeah, that'll be available at 8 a.m. Ben, I believe, will be doing a week 1 preview. So that'll come up on Friday. And then on Saturday, there was a comment asking, hey, what are you guys doing on Saturday? Jack is gone for the coffee show because he hates you. So that's a bummer. But Matt McMaster is coming in to fill in for the coffee show. So that'll be fun. We'll have some Nebraska-Cincinnati reaction. And then we unveil for the first time this year, Jack, for the first time ever, after Nebraska football, you and I, next Saturday, 8 p.m., we will go live and we will give our full thoughts on Nebraska, Cincinnati, and week 1 to that point in college football.
And I know you won't do this, but I'll just be driving during the coffee show. So if you wanted me to be on it that way, I could, or to join you for a while, but I'll be driving. So my choices are do the coffee show or have to drive during the college football Saturday. And I would rather watch the college football Saturday than
understandable. Yeah.
And then I'm coming back at night anyway. So
yeah, exactly. So that is everything that we have coming up over the next week. Normally, everything like this is not available free. If you want access to all of our stuff, whether it's from Jack and myself, Volleyball State, everything, patreon.com/i80club for as low as $5 a month. All right, Jack, we have a football game to watch in a half hour, so we need to go so we can watch the football game. You need to make your pick. You've said this 8 times.
I gotta remember. I think I'm picking Iowa State. I think I'm picking I got to make a few picks against the spread.
ATS as it were.
Yeah,
all right.
I don't. Yeah, we'll see.
Jack, enjoy the football. It's so good to have it back. I look forward to many more discussions with you over the course of the next week. But enjoy it today. This is glorious, and enjoy hanging out with the Volleyball State guys.
I will. I'm excited. And I got my fantasy. I'll be up. Shout out Omaha. I'll be in Omaha tonight. So if anybody's partying later in Omaha, let me know.
Come on over for the Kansas game. Come on over for the Kansas game.
I'll be with Schaefer.
What? What the hell?
What the hell? Wait, does my camera not do the hearts anymore?
You probably have to turn the setting on. There it is. All right. He's Jack. I'm Josh. Thanks for joining us Saturday morning coffee show. Like and subscribe on your way out. Hook us up with 5 stars and all the things on the podcast platforms. We'll talk to you later. Patreon.com/ID.